It's a race to get in there first.
Sorry. Take one. Hello, everybody. This is going to be our third episode. I have to say something at the beginning. Yesterday, I got up and showed that video to my family. I was in my sort of trackers and my pajamas, if you will. And so I got a little bit of a criticism there. So I try to dress up more appropriately today.
I will take note for take 1, part 4 tomorrow.
It was just embarrassing. I was wearing like a suit at the top and then went up to get yogi, get the door, and then my pajamas were revealed. So, yeah.
I've got to be honest, I didn't notice the old half suit trick. At least you had something on down there anyway.
But I do remember at the beginning of COVID, there were all these videos, people were like wearing shorts and, kids jumping. I think BBC or I don't know, CNN, there was like episode, the kids walking into the room. Then it's like the perks of working from home. So that's what it is. Yeah,
absolutely. So yeah, welcome everyone to another episode. Today, I wanted to take the lead, and we can look at discussing the impact of AI on the world as a whole, in particularly business, and the pros and cons. There's lots of pros. There's a few cons as well, but I know, Saeid, you've always been someone that's been at the forefront of technology as opposed to myself. You lead the way. So, yeah, I wanted to really just to get your view a little bit on how you think AI has made an impact.
Well, first of all, I have to say it's all relative. I say this because I do have friends who are like designing applications, and some of them they own, I don't know, if not multi-billion, but 100 million worth, like multi-100 millions worth of company already in AI space. So I really have no place. But and I'm guessing the reason that you want to talk about this is because you're staying up until 2 a.m. in the morning, playing around with ideas on different AI platforms. I don't know. I think very strangely, we ended up talking a little bit about this topic yesterday, and I do have to say that I think there is cause for concern for sure, because it can be a little bit of it can suck you in if you it's very exciting, it's very new, and it's a huge multiplier in terms of capacity, like what you can do, the kind of thing that you were not even thinking about doing, especially like marketing, generating content, playing around with ideas on like images, and I can only imagine, like, for coders and people who are already ahead in the world of IT and coding and stuff, this is actually pretty amazing. It must be. And I do know I have friends, and maybe I have been victim myself, maybe not victim, but you can just get carried away and it gets difficult to get things done. So I think it's really important to find the right balance. But I mean, in my day-to-day life, it has really helped a lot. I think also, like, not being a native English speakers in terms of like content, writing things in English as well, and also like in my mother tongue language, I've been kind of out of touch with that for like 20 years or so, living abroad, and other than my immediate family, my parents, my sister, I don't usually speak Farsi, to be honest. But so yeah, I mean, it has also helped in data space, like creating content. There, sort of double checking. There are a lot of things that I say that I don't even know the equivalent in my own mother tongue language. So with that. But overall, I do think it's really important to just not, like I said, not get carried away, and make sure that you have defined tasks, and then you also allocate some time to learn something, because I don't know if you heard of like hallucination in the world of AI. When you go to ChatGPT, and if you don't do the prompting right, you often get a lot of things that are incorrect, whether it's text or an Excel sheet. And the program, that the language starts talking to itself, and the term is hallucination. So you just have to be very careful about that. I mean, that's the kind of shorter answer to that question.
I experienced that last night. This hallucinating. I don't know if it was AI that was hallucinating or myself, but yeah, it absolutely has has a big role. It's an obvious statement, isn't it? It's going to have a huge impact on the world going forward. I'm very much still at the basic stage of it creating me a spreadsheet and that taking just as long as it would have taken for me to have done that. But once you're utilizing it in the right way, I think every business is going to benefit from it, and to the tune that if you're a business that's not using it, you're going to be falling massively, massively behind. Even right now, if you're a business and you haven't implemented AI in any way, you're going to be behind your competitors for sure.
No, no,
Go on.
I agree. I think the reality is, I think for so long, I don't know how long has it been, 2, 3 years, everybody has been saying the AI is the future. It's not the future anymore. It's day to day. And I already see it. We do have a lot of other colleagues, other different companies in this space that we are, and they're using it. And I can see that they are going with a speed of light. And I find it to be an inspiration. And I try to, like I said, I think it's very important to try to, it can be a little bit daunting and overwhelming if you look at a big picture, or if you think about, oh, how far I'm behind or haven't caught up with other people, there's no more point. It's not like that. First of all, it's constantly evolving. So if there was something that you learned yesterday, it can help you in terms of like being a building block to know the next thing. But it doesn't matter. You just have to start to, like today, right now, learn one thing, improve one thing about your prompt. I've taken a few courses from like Google AI, the prompting essential, things like that, and it really makes a difference as soon as you follow some rules and some structure around how to do your prompts, give a role, define a persona, give context to your prompt, and the outcomes is like really day and night. So that's definitely what I would say. Just give some time. I was watching somebody who was talking about they spend like they wake up 5 o'clock in the morning and just to spend 1 hour learning one thing, maybe part of one software. And I think that's really a smart way of doing it.
How do you see AI impacting the property industry?
I think on a personal level, it has helped me a lot. Maybe that's not the exact answer to your question, but it has helped me a lot to be able to speak more relevantly. With features like agent mode in ChatGPT, for example, or like the deep research, it can go and you can, if you give it a proper prompt, it can go and do a research for you and see what are the common objections, what are the actual issues that people have on websites like Reddit, for example, where people are like openly and talk about it, which for a human being, or at least for me, it's almost impossible if you want to do it yourself. So it really helps to understand the objections, the problems, the concerns that people have. What is it that they're looking for? For example, we work a lot in, being based in the UK. We work with a lot of people who are interested to invest in property abroad, particularly Dubai, for example. So I think most English people that I know, they have either been there or have heard about Dubai. Like Dubai is not this unknown territory. What is the reason that they have it investment? Like if they had the means and if they had the intentions, I always think that there must be a reason behind it, because financially speaking, it does make sense. If it is, especially if it is your second, if it is your first time that you're planning to invest in a property abroad, it does make sense. It doesn't need my justification. So I find that very interesting to see what are the objections, what are the reasons, what are the obstacles or hurdles that people are talking about online, and what experiences they have had, those who have bought it, and try to, as a business, try to find ways to tackle those, address those, and try to find a way to communicate better and more effectively and speak more relevantly to our to our clients.
Absolutely. And I think from my perspective, stripping it back to an even more basic level, if you've got a facility or a tool to enable you to be more productive individually within the business, then that can only be massively beneficial. And again, perhaps I'm Mr. Obvious, stating the obvious, but if myself, yourself can use AI for certain tasks to free us up to speak to more clients, to speak to more developers, and to increase the quality of the offering to our client base, to spend more time on the phone with our clients, which we were speaking yesterday about. That is the part of the job that we love, is speaking to our clients and building friendships, building rapport with those clients. The more time that we can allow AI to do the other stuff and to allow us to do that then that for me is one of the biggest winners. That's allows us to focus on developing our own staff and having those conversations with.
And perhaps also to add to the back of that, the way that you can also capture the conversation, through the, again, AI tools, and maybe that's not necessarily new, but it's now more widely available to people at a more reasonable cost, perhaps. The way that you can also, when it comes to client engagement and personalization, instead of the traditional an ADM, create an email, a template, and send it out to, I don't know, however many tens of thousands of people, you can have a more sort of personalized, segment the data and the client base and in your database that you have, and try to speak more relevantly to them. If somebody was interested in commercial property at some point and they talk to you about that, to go and send them another residential property, it doesn't make sense. If somebody's budget was, I don't know, £1 million, and you're promoting this property at, I don't know, at price point of 300,000, you're not speaking really relevantly. You're just kind of shooting something, throwing something in the dark and hoping for it to stick. I feel like in 2025 that approach is a little bit, it's old school, and I would also argue that it can desensitize, if that's the right word, the client. If you keep sending people the stuff that they don't care about and they don't want to, and it's so easy. I think this is possibly one of the danger of AI. It's so easy to create content, right? And I'm already part of so many different WhatsApp groups, newsletters, and I receive all this data. And I just feel like if you keep doing that, people get numb and they stop disengaging. I think that's one of the dangers of it. And on the flip side, the positive side is that if you use it correctly, you can personalize your communication and send the relevant data and information to your clients.
I think it's a really good point. I think we take some of the AI technology for granted because it's already been in for a couple of years. So the likes of the meeting note takers that we utilize on every client appointment is beneficial for us as a business. As you say, it allows us to make sure that we're tailor making every recommendation that we do to our client perfectly, or as close to perfectly, but from a consumer protection point of view as well. That ability, that security, that knowledge that the client can have an instant recording of the meeting, can have a transcript of the meeting, so that every correspondence that we've had essentially with a client can always be backed up. Because at the end of the day, we're talking about large amounts of capital being entrusted with ourselves, and it's about peace of mind, isn't it? We know we're always going to do the right thing by the client, but if it's the first time that the client is speaking to ourselves, it's almost imperative, really, that we're offering them that kind of protection to say, look, here's an AI transcript, here's an instantaneous recording of the meetings that we've just had. But as I say, things like that, you almost start thinking, you take it for granted. You don't even realize that it's AI, because we've been utilizing that for the best part of a couple of years. So even having this discussion, and we're thinking of the benefits of AI, we're thinking of what it could impact us in the future, but it's already integrated with us, isn't it? And has been for a while.
I mean, having said that, I do have to say, I think we are really, this is like the tip of an iceberg, and you're going to see a lot more happening. And I think, going back to what you said at the beginning, if you don't get on this sort of movement and momentum and the AI in a right way, not just in a going down this spiral sort of way, and ending up being up all night just playing around with it. if you can find a way to impact your personal efficiency, I think that was also a very important point that you mentioned, then it will open up your time so that you can spend it more, with your client, in the spaces, with people, with the individual, with clients that it matters. So I think that is also very, very important.
Yeah, absolutely. And within the industry that we're in and the business that we've got, we want to be market leading in terms of absolutely everything, really. So we couldn't make that statement if we weren't utilizing the very best that AI can offer. Because like we said, we would be lagging behind our competitors significantly.
Take one, Christian. We promised 15 minutes. We're there. Thank you very much, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow.
Thank you. Goodbye.